Alright, this is my beginner's guide to procs. Now, what is a proc? A proc is a program random occurrence. That's the anagram for it. It's also known as a process, but the most common definition is program random occurrence. Now, in Anima, you have certain items that give certain procs. A proc is anything that adds to a combat ability, such as it will add to my missile right here. It'll add something to it. Now, if we go and look, I gotta pull some stuff. Okay. So you saw a couple of procs hit. I have procs on my weapons, on my armor, that causes a freeze, and it causes a curse. Now, when you get procs do not stack. So, in a sense they do, but in a sense they don't. Let's look at all the stuff I have. Okay, on this I have an execute proc. This I don't have anything. This I have a 19% chance to curse an enemy for 2 seconds. That's just to speed. And then I have a 13% chance to freeze an enemy. And a 100% chance to bleed on hit. That's what these 2 chaos bands have. And I believe that's all. Okay, and that's what I was looking for. And then on this, I have a 19% chance to curse an enemy. So this curse and this curse, they do not add up. They're not cumulative. What it is I have 2 chances each hit to proc 19%. So with each missile, I have 2 chances at 19% to proc a curse. And so if I have orbit on, those orbits, every time they hit, it's going to give me 2 chances at 19% to proc curse. Bleed is a 100% chance, so any hit I do, I will bleed them. Let's look at some other procs. So, King's Trinket. Well, actually, let's just look at Heaven Cleaver right now. Okay? I'm going to put that in. Heaven Cleaver gives me a 15% area damage on hit. So this is what it looks like. That's my bleeds coming up. Now, when I hit it again, that explosion is the area hit. But if I add in, let's see, if I add in this trinket, oh no, this trinket right here, where it has, that's not it either. Where'd it go? Oh, here it is. I have a 5% area damage on hit and a 15% area damage on hit. This is not cumulative to 20% damage, but it is. So it's going to hit twice. It's going to hit twice for 5% and then for 15%. So it's not just one hit for 20%. If you can see those numbers under there, when I first hit, it's 2 hits. Again, they're not cumulative. They are separate hits. Now, if I add a Heaven Cleaver in there, now it's going to be 15, 15, and 5. So I'm doing 35% damage, but it's 3 different hits at 15, 15, 5. And if you notice, the area hit does not proc a bleed. That's because procs cannot proc a proc. All these things are procs. Anything that adds to an ability, knockback. Bam, I hit him with knockback. But see, nothing else is going to proc that except for a direct hit. Let's see what else we got here. Now, if I equip a Dane's Leaf, I will add 2 more bleeds to that. So now I'm bleeding for extra amounts. But the Dane's Leaf bleeds are smaller. They're not as much. Now, things like this, +2 to all abilities, these are not procs. All procs will be a unique ability, so they'll be in yellow. But things that add to your overall status, such as +2 ability, plus 25% healing effect, things of that nature, they do not add. They are not a proc, so there's nothing to proc. But I just wanted to make that clear. If we look at stasis, this has a 10% chance to ignore next damage. If you equip 8 stases, so you infuse stasis on everything, and you infuse stasis on stasis, so you'll have 8 stases. This does not mean that you have an 80% chance to ignore damage. This means that you have 8 separate chances at 10% per hit you receive to ignore damage. That is a huge difference between 80% chance to ignore damage. So let's say you're being hit. RNG is rolled, and it's rolled 8 times. If it lands on that 10% and one of those 8 times, you ignore the damage. As opposed to if you're hit and it rolls once at 80%, and if it rolls in that 80%, you ignore damage. You can see how different that is. It is nowhere near 80% to ignore the damage. Heaven's Hand. Any type of proc like this. Let's say you equip this and you attack. Let's say you infuse Heaven's Hand onto everything. It's not going to give you an 80% chance to cast Chain Lightning. It is going to give you 8 chances per hit at 10%. So let's see if I can proc it. There it goes. And that proc will not proc a bleed. But I'm still doing that area damage too. So all my area damage is added in there. But when a proc hits, it does not cause area damage, because area damage is a proc. And so if Chain Lightning hits, it will not proc the area damage. Same as it will not proc the bleeds. It will not proc Devastating Blow. You hit somebody with Devastating Blow, it does not proc a bleed. You hit somebody with Devastating Blow under 30%, it will not kill them, because Devastating Blow cannot proc Execute. Execute is a proc. You have to actually hit them. So procs are added onto your combat abilities, and they can do a lot of different things. They're great, but you can combine them, but it's a little different the way the percentages work, and also they can't proc each other. It would be completely overpowered if they could proc each other. Like if bleed could proc execute, or if bleed could proc area damage. So if I hit with a bleed, every time those ticks would be popping, it would be hitting area damage, and then that area damage would be procking a bleed, and then causing more bleeds that would proc and proc and proc and proc and proc, and it would just be, you could just totally kill stuff. So that is the basic rundown of procs. If you have a question, as always, leave it down in the comments, and I'll be happy to get back with you. Hope y'all have a good one.